Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in for another installment of the Maker Minute, a joint production of LTC and Lowell Makes. My name is Eric Sack. I'm the Director of Technical Logistics of LTC and one of the founders of Lowell Makes. Today here with me is Jillian, a leathersmith with 20 plus years experience in the industry, and he has set up shop down here at Lowell Makes with Eldridge Studios. Today he's going to show us how to make a craft, and we're going to join in and see how easy it is to do stuff here at Lowell Makes.
Well, I'd like to welcome you to the first time Eldridge Leather Workshop has been in front of the camera. What we're going to be making for you today is going to be a belt. There's a number of different ways this happens. You've bought the terrible stuff up at the mall really cheap. It's fallen apart. You've looked at it and said, what's this, made of cardboard? And the answer is yes. What we do here is actually we're going to be working from oak tanned leather, the way belts used to be made in the past. They hold up a long time, and it's a time-honored craft that we're still happy to bring you. Well, here we are, folks. We've just taken this beautiful piece of pre-dyed oak tanned leather, and we've cut a straight edge on it because I'm going to use what's called a strap cutter. I'm going to take the buckle and the tool and adjust it for the proper size of the belt. What I need to do is I need to get the inside diameter of the actual belt pathway through the buckle to fall over the heel bar. So I'm going to take this set of dividers and I'm going to measure that distance. Now what I have is an exact measurement to the aperture in the buckle itself. I'm going to transfer that over to the belt strap cutter. The flat edge of the leather is going to run across this particular section of the belt strap cutter. There's a blade secreted in this cross member section, which is actually going to cut the belt itself. Now what I'm cutting on this is usually referred to as a bullet point. It's really just a D-shaped point that will fit easily through the buckle. We want to make it somewhat symmetrical and attractive, like that. So I'm going to put approximately a 2.5 inch fold in there, and once I determine what that center area is going to be, I'm just going to make a mark with my thumbnail. Now that I know where that is, what I'm going to do is I choose my slot punch, and I will visually center this over the area where this buckle tongue is actually going to poke out of. What that allows to happen is it allows you, when you put your belt together, this tongue comes up and through that slot, and then as this folds over, that's the belt buckle you've come to know and love throughout the ages. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm chamfering that edge that we talked about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 holes through both layers of leather here in the center in order to hold the buckle in place. Okay, so here we go, folks. The next step that we have here is actually referred to as edge dyeing. So I will try using the rolling edge on this, see the kind of efficiency that we get done versus using a swab. Now that the edge dye has actually set, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start combing it. I'm going to move in one particular direction from the buckle down to the tip. And I'm putting pressure all along the edge of the belt. And what that's going to do over time is it's going to heat up the wax that's actually in the edge dye, seal the edge of the belt, make it slide through your belt loops easier, and make it a bit prettier. I'm going to cement this area of the belt so that when I fold this over and put the buckle in it, that it will actually hold the buckle in place. It'll make it a steadier platform for me to apply the rivets that will actually truly fasten the buckle in place. then that's cemented in place and it's just waiting to be riveted. What happens is these come together. They are a male and female component, and the males will go from the rear side through the front, and the female cap will be put on them, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a hammer and anvil, and I'm actually going to crush those together, and that's what's going to hold this belt together for the life of it. Now this one, I'm just using the hammer on. There's another option here. Earlier I had introduced a rivet set, so I'll bring that over. I use a rawhide hammer on that, and this just does the same thing. Then we've got that riveted in place. So at this point, it becomes an option to decorate the belt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these down the length of the belt, approximately 3 inches or so away from each other. You start down at the tip there, and you just start walking this pair of dividers up the belt. I am now bringing this rotary punch up over that hole that I've made, and then a quick squeeze of this actually creates the hole. I'm going to be taking one of these male posts and putting it from the rear side of the belt all the way through so I can seat some of these coins on top of it. What we're going to do at this point is we're actually going to take one of these coins, we're going to put it on the top of the rivet, and then we're going to take the top part of the rivet, the cap as it were, kind of push it in place. It kind of locks in there a little bit. I'll hold it down in the anvil. You want to hold it level. Notice that I'm not pushing it all the way down on the block. And then I'm just kind of hammering it down so it gets a good seat on it. And then what we end up with is a belt with a decorative coin all the way down the center. Now, when we fit this on somebody, what we'll do is we'll punch different holes that can hold that on. If for any reason one of these pieces happen to get in the way, we can take an awl and drive it all the way through in order to make another hole for it, or we can simply pull the piece out, as it will actually be in the center of the buckle anyway and doesn't really stand for the design at that point. But 9 times out of 10, you'll actually just be putting your holes in the other side wherever the coin's going to be.
All right, thanks for tuning in for another installment of the Maker Minutes. We want to thank Lowell Makes, and we especially want to thank Jillian for hosting us and showing us a little bit of leather work. If you're curious about any of the tools or activities you've seen, come on down to Lowell Makes. We have open houses every Wednesday night, 6 to 9, and if you're curious about learning traditional tools like leather making or woodworking, or really contemporary tools like microcontrollers and 3D printers, we have it all. 47 Lee Street, Lowell, Massachusetts. And if you're interested in any of the media that we've made, the Maker Minutes, we're making that too. At LTC, you can come in and learn your own media. Like,
hey everybody, I made this actually, and you should come on to this shop right here and have some fun with us.